She recorded our private arguments for TikTok to prove she was right. I stayed silent. When her followers found out the videos were edited, the comments turned off themselves. The first time I ended up as content, I didn't even know it was happening. We were having an argument in the kitchen, a totally normal disagreement about money. My girlfriend, Helena, wanted to book a ridiculously expensive trip to Bali. I tried to explain that maybe we should finish paying off the new car first. It wasn't a fight. I didn't yell or insult her. I just said it didn't make sense financially right now. 2 days later, my friend Kevin sent me a link with a message. Dude, is this you? I clicked it. It was a TikTok from Helena's account. The caption read, "Finally standing up for myself. It's hard when he doesn't see your worth." The clip was short, maybe 15 seconds. It showed me in our kitchen saying, "It's just not going to happen right now." My voice slightly raised only because the dishwasher was running. Then it cut to her, teary-eyed, whispering, "I just feel like you never listen to what I want." The comments were brutal. Hundreds of strangers calling me controlling, saying things like, "Girl, leave him. You deserve Bali and a man who supports you." My stomach dropped. She had filmed our private conversation, chopped it up, and made me look like a villain for a few likes that I walked into the living room. She was on the couch, scrolling through her phone with a little smile, reading the comments. When she looked up, I said quietly, "My friend sent me your new video." She didn't even look guilty, just shrugged. "Yeah, it's kind of blowing up. It's important to share my truth, you know? To show other women they're not alone." I just stared at her. My truth. She had twisted a calm conversation into something ugly and was calling it empowerment. I wanted to shout, to tell her to take it down, to make her see how wrong it was. But I realized something as I watched her eyes glued to the screen, watching the likes go up. Yelling would only give her more content. A big dramatic part 2 was exactly what she wanted. I stayed silent. I didn't mention it again. I just walked into my office and shut the door. She thought my silence meant weakness. She didn't know I'd just decided to let her keep digging her own hole. That first video was her biggest hit. Over 500,000 views. The validation hit her like a drug. Suddenly, she was a hero, a voice for the voiceless, and she needed more content to feed her new audience. That I started noticing her phone everywhere. Propped up on a bookshelf, tucked behind a fruit bowl, hidden behind a pillow on the bed. She was trying to catch me in my worst, waiting for another clip she could twist into a viral moment. I changed my approach. I couldn't stop disagreeing with her completely. That would be suspicious. Instead, whenever she tried to start an argument, I became calm, almost saintly. One night, she started in on me for not helping enough around the house. I spotted her phone, screen dark, resting behind a picture frame on the mantel. "I just feel like I do everything," she said, voice trembling, already performing. "I cooked, I cleaned, and you've just been sitting around all night." Instead of arguing, I nodded. "You're right. I haven't done my share today. I got stuck with work and lost track of time. I'll do the dishes and take out the trash right now." "I'm sorry." She froze. She had a whole script ready, a full performance lined up, and I just killed it with one calm apology. There was nothing dramatic to post. No villain to frame. This started happening more and more. She tried to bait me, and I'd refuse to react. I could see the frustration growing in her. Her followers started losing interest. "He seems pretty reasonable here. I don't get it," they'd comment. That, of course, that only made her double down. If she couldn't get a bad reaction, she'd edit one. The next escalation came when her family got involved. Her mom, Brenda, was her biggest supporter. She commented on every video, "So proud of my brave daughter. You're so strong." One weekend, Brenda and Helena's sister Jess came over for dinner. I knew it was a setup. Right in the middle of the meal, Brenda set her fork down and gave me a pitying look. "Mark," she said softly, "I saw Helena's latest video about the finances. I'm just worried about her. It sounds like you're being very controlling with the money." I didn't even glance at Helena. I could see her phone sitting upright on its little stand beside the salt shaker, recording everything. I looked at Brenda and said evenly, "I understand your concern. Here's what's really happening. We have a joint savings account for shared goals like a house. Last month, over $2,000 were transferred from that account into Helena's personal account, and spent at a designer store. I was trying to have a conversation about that, to understand why our shared savings were used for a personal purchase. That was the context of the video she had posted. The table went completely silent. Brenda and Jess both turned to look at Helena, whose face had gone pale. I laid out the facts calmly, without emotion. There was nothing she could edit, no angle she could twist. I had spoken the truth in a way that left no room for her usual manipulation. When they finally left, Helena exploded. "You try to make me look bad in front of my own mother," she yelled. "No," I said, quietly stacking the plates. "I just added the part you edited out." That was when her best friend, Ashley, jumped into the mess. Ashley was basically Helena's personal hype squad. After the dinner disaster, she started sending me long, furious texts, calling me a gaslighter, a manipulator, saying I was trying to isolate Helena from her family. I didn't answer a single one. I just took screenshots of every message and saved them in a folder. The final move was something I've been setting up for weeks. Our apartment had a home security system with a few cameras in the main rooms, installed after a neighbor's house got broken into. They recorded both video and audio. Helena knew about them, but I think she'd forgotten. She was so obsessed with hiding her little phone cameras that she didn't realize there was already an unbiased witness watching everything that I decided to stage an argument that would expose her. Something so obviously her fault that even her die-hard followers couldn't spin it in her favor. One night, I came home from work and she was already in a bad mood. Her latest video had tanked, and she was itching for new content. I saw her phone half hidden behind a stack of books on the shelf. "Hey," I said casually, "I got a weird email from the landlord today." "What about?" she asked, barely glancing up from her screen. It was a complaint from our neighbor, Mrs. Gable. She said there was a big party here last Tuesday. Loud music until 3 a.m. I was out of town, so I assumed that was you. She looked up sharply. Panic flickered across her face. "It wasn't a party. It was just Ashley and a few friends, right?" I said, pulling out my phone. Because Mrs. Gable sent the landlord video from her doorbell cam. Shows about 15 people coming and going. And she also sent this. I showed her the next photo, a cigarette burn on the hallway carpet right outside her door. "The landlord says we're responsible. It's coming out of our deposit." Her eyes widened, then narrowed into anger. "She can't prove that was us. Could have been anyone." "Well," I said, swiping to the next photo, Ashley posted this on her Instagram that night. It was Helena, Ashley, and a bunch of their friends packed into our living room. Someone in the background holding a cigarette. The timestamp read 2:47 a.m. Her face went from nervous to furious in an instant. "You're trying to blame me for this. You always make me the bad guy." She started performing. For the hidden camera, she thought I hadn't noticed. The fake tears came fast. She started talking about how I was trying to control her, how I was attacking her, how she just wanted to feel free. It was a full production that I didn't react. I stood there, silent, while she poured her heart out to an invisible audience. When she finally ran out of steam, I just said, "Okay, the landlord's sending the repair bill." Then I walked away. She posted the edited version the next morning. It was impressive in a twisted way. She cut out every piece of context, the neighbor's complaint, the damage, the photos. What she uploaded looked like me confronting her while she cried about being blamed for everything. The caption read, "Sometimes emotional abuse hurts more than anything else. I feel so alone." The comments poured in, "This is his villain origin story. He's a narcissist. Get out, girl." It became her most successful video yet that I didn't respond. I just waited. The person who finally exposed her wasn't me. It was my sister, Sarah. My family had been seeing these videos for months, and they were furious. I'd already shown them the full, unedited security footage, so they knew the truth. Sarah waited for the perfect moment to step in, and that party video was it. She made a new TikTok account. The username was simple, the .other.side. She uploaded a single video, a split screen. On one side was Helena's edited version, with the dramatic music and captions. On the other was the raw footage from my security camera, the calm conversation, the evidence, the fake tears. And at the end, Sarah added Ashley's Instagram story showing the party and the cigarette. The final line on the screen was, Who's the real victim here? She didn't tag Helena. She didn't need to. The internet found it on its OWN.at first. It was a slow trickle of views. Then a flood. Someone reposted it. 1 million views in a day. Then 5 million. People started stitching it, duetting it, making commentary videos, breaking everything down. The truth was out. I watched it unfold from my office. The tone on Helena's page changed overnight. Supportive comments turned into accusations. So you lied to us? You're the manipulator. Those fake tears are scary. Her fan base turned on her with a vengeance. Within 2 days, her entire online empire collapsed. She had to disable comments across her account. People were revisiting all her old videos, dissecting them, pointing out inconsistencies. Her digital world, built on half-truths and pity, burned to the ground in less than 48 hours. The comments didn't turn off themselves. They were disabled because the truth had finally caught up to her. 2 days after my sister's video blew up, Helena came home from work. She looked hollow. Not angry, not crying, just empty. You did this, she said quietly. It wasn't an accusation, just a flat statement. No, I said. I stayed silent. You did this to yourself. You just broadcast it while it happened. She didn't argue. There was nothing left to defend. Her career as a professional victim was over. I think you should pack your things, I said. She nodded. For the next few hours, she packed her clothes and her filming gear into boxes. No yelling, no tears, no performance. Just silence. I stood by the window and watched as she loaded her car. When she finally drove off, I walked through the apartment, past the bookshelf, the kitchen counter, the mantel, and gathered all the little phone stands she'd hidden around the place. I threw them in the trash. The silence that followed was the best sound I'd ever heard.